Hi guys, I'm Asif Ali and you're watching CGHOW video, and today I have found very nice reference. This is the Ratchet and Clank game effect, and this shield is just and so I will just make this shield and these projectile that these enemies shooting and colliding with this shield, and there's simple effect. And this guy Roy has created this cool VFX, so all credit goes to him. So I'm just creating a basic prototype of this effect right now. This actually the situation is creating this shield, so let's start this.
CGHOW. CGHOW.
First of all, subscribe my YouTube channel and also click on bell icon so you will receive all new video notification. So I have this empty project in Unreal Engine 5 and I will add a third person template here. So now I have third person template, and if I open the map, you can see I have this guy here, but I don't have any enemies here. So I will just, because I'm creating very basic prototype, so I'll just use this cylindrical shape as my enemy. So these are my enemies that placing here. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. So I have these 4 enemies and I'll create a projectile effect, and these enemy will shoot him. Whenever he goes, these will shoot him, and then he has a shield that colliding those projectiles. So first I'll create a projectile. So right click and Niagara. I'll take the fountain and FX projectile. Oops. And it has this fountain, so I'll just duplicate this, Control W, and I'll hide this, and this will be my bullet. Like this, it has this round big mesh. I don't know what is this, but I'm just using a sphere instead of this, and a basic tail. So you can just add lots of element. You can watch my other tutorial to make good looking projectile. I have lots of projectile tutorials. So I'll just remove this, and I need a mesh. So I'll just open Maya, because I will require that Maya also for that shield. So I'll just open the Maya and create a basic, not exactly sphere, like something like this that I can use. So maybe shocker ball. So I will create this. Okay, this look nice, I can use this. Okay, so this will be my bullet. So I'll just freeze this and export this to the desktop, and SM bullet, and here I will not here I'll create a folder called FX, and I accidentally created my FX here, so I'll just move this. All my FX data will be here in FX folder, and I will provide this project on my Patreons, so you can just download and check, and you can improve my FX, because I'm making basic and you can check. So now I will import that SM bullet here, and it has a material also. So I'll just rename it and call it color, because I'm just going to use a basic color. I'm not working on material right now. So just a particle color, and connect it directly to the emissive, and I will use unlit to hide it, and just save this. And I'll just use this basic color material here. First I need to take a mesh renderer, then take a mesh. I'll just select this SM bullet and just click here, and then override material, and I can click on this color and just select here. So I have these balls, so I don't need color here and these things, and I just need one particle at a time. So I will just spawn using a spawn burst. One every 2 seconds is spawning one, and the color of my particle will be red, hot red. Okay, and one more thing, it should, when they are shooting the projectile, it should follow the character. My projectile should aim to the character. So for that, I'm not using any velocity right now. Here I'm using a attractor, point attractor, and fix this and make the radius of attractor higher, because this area is very bigger. So you can just put some zeros here and turn off the fall off, and strength I'll use just 1 for now. And right now you can see there is no velocity because the attraction position is also 0. But if I make it like 100, you can see this projectile is attracting to the upper side. If I make it 100 on X, is attracting to the X. So this attraction position, I will make this user parameter, and I'll just use the name from here. I'll just copy this name, and now here I will place this FX. Let me save this all. I will place this FX here, and let me just increase the size of my bullet to like 10 is okay. So now I'll go to level blueprint, select your FX, take a reference of this, select your third person character and take a reference of this, and I want to set the attraction position to the character position. So I will set Niagara variable, and I will take a vector because it was vector X, Y, and Z, and I'll paste my name here. And on every frame, so I will take a event tick, and I will take the position of this. So get location, so I'll get the actor location and connect it to your attraction position every frame. And if I hit compile and if I play, you can see this ball is attracting to the character. If I move, you can see it's still attracting. See, this is cool, but this is slow, so I can make it faster. So just increase the point attractor to 2. And one more thing, it's not rotating, so I'll just add a update rotation and random axis. So I will use a random, and that's it. So if I now play, it's hitting, and the size is bigger, so I'll just adjust that size. So not 10, I'll use 6. So one work is almost done. Projectiles are aiming to the guy, but this is just one projectile. So I'll just duplicate this by pressing Alt and just move it here, and press Alt and move it here, press Alt and move it here. So now it will just attract first one, not all. See, first one is attracting but not all. So you have to do a simple thing. You have to select your all other 3 projectiles, move this into your level blueprint here, and connect these to this same node. If you have created a class blueprint for one projectile, you will not have to do that. That will automatically work with all. So now you can see all projectiles are attracting to this character whenever he moves. Okay, so now I need a tail, and I need to decrease the size also. I need a tail and a burst particle when it's colliding to the shield. So first I'll connect a tail quickly. So second one, I'll just duplicate this again, and I'll just rename this tail trail. And you can use particle trail if you want, and you can use ribbon if you want. So let's say I use particle trail, so I'll delete this, and I don't need this one also. And if I play, okay, sorry, it will not take like that. You need to take the location of this. So I'll just turn off the spawn rate, and in this one, in bullet, I'll use the persistent ID and generate the location. And then in this trail one, I'll use the event handler. I'll use the location of my bullet, spawn particles, and use like 5 particles, and also take a receive location. So now you can see I have a particle trail, but the life of the particle is too high, and I also increase the sphere size to 50 and decrease the life to like 0.6 and 0.3. I'll increase the sphere. You need to move this sphere here, and now it will work exactly the size of my bullet. 25, I think 25 is okay. Now it's following, and I can reduce the life like 0.3, 0.2, and change the color to yellowish, and also use curl noise, but I am not doing much thing here. I'm just and actually I will reduce the sphere size. I don't need that much. It should look like a thin trail. Okay, so I have actually I'm not liking it much. Let's just create a ribbon trail. I don't want this, so here I will take a ribbon, and I'll use that color material, and instead of initialize particle, I will use initialize ribbon, and red color, life maybe 0.5, and I'll delete these things, and let's say okay, so I set the life 0.5. I don't need sphere location. So now I have a ribbon tail. I'll reduce the life to 0.2, and I'll increase the ribbon width to 50, and take the ribbon scale and use the curve. So now I have the tail, but its size is too much, so let's make it 30. Okay, so I have now tail. So now I need some burst particle when it's colliding. So first I need a shield. So if I have opened the Maya, so to create a shield something like this, the shortcut would be, I would like to use a slender. You can make with planar or anything that you like. So I will use a slender, and let me decrease the segments, and I'll delete upper and bottom part, and let me open the UVs. These are the UVs, and I'll just normalize this. And here if you scale this from top, what just happened? What I just okay, I just pressed something accidentally, it was gone. So I'll just scale this now and scale this right now, and I can increase the size and scale this to the center to make it like there is no hole. Now I have this, I can scale these two vertices, so you can see it's now becoming a shield. and I will scale these, and now you can just smooth this, and you can press G to repeat your smooth. So now you have a shield, but it's not curved like it is. So I will go to animation, deformer, nonlinear, band, and let's say 50, and I will minus 90 and then 90. So this much curve, I think it's okay. So I'll just freeze this, delete the history, and you can see the UVs is now proper UVs. So if you let me hide the grid, if you select these vertices and press B, you can see it's going like this, and if you select these, it's going like this. So UVs are perfect because I created it from Slender, and I will just export this to desktop SM shield, and I quickly open this here. SM, where's the SM shield? This is import, and let me just check the collision of this. So in show collision, and I'll just make a auto convex and apply. Okay, so it has now this collision, and I'll create a basic material. So this will be my M shield, and I quickly just make this a pink shield like we have in my reference, although you can change the color, that doesn't require to follow the color of reference, and make it translucent and make the opacity like 0.3 and save this. And one more thing I forgot, make it two-sided. Let me save all, and now I'll edit this character blueprint, Control E, and now here in viewport, because I want my shield always in front of character, so I will link my shield to camera. So select the camera and add component static mesh, and take the shield here and move this here, rotate 90 degree, and I'll increase the size something like this, move this closer. I think this is nice. So if I play, I have this, but these projectiles are not colliding, and the size of shield is little bit bigger, so I'll decrease. Yeah, now I like it. So now this should collide. So in my FX I use collision in my bullet. Okay, fix the issue and compile, save, and now check if these are colliding. These are colliding, but these are bouncing, and I want when it's colliding it should die. So the quick way will be take the kill particle, and it need a condition. So I have that condition. So has particle collided? Yes, so kill them. So now it will check particles colliding, it's killing them. And now I want when it's colliding there should be a burst of particle. So here, because I have collision, so I will generate collision event. Okay, and in my this fountain, this hidden particle, I rename this to burst, and let's make this first properly. So not this, I will take a velocity from point, let's make it random, 200, 100, and I don't need gravity this much, and let's make it velocity align and size with speed, and color I'll use yellow, and instead of this I'll use burst. So and I want higher velocity like 500, 200, and lower life like 0.5, 0.2 or 0.3. And now I don't need this spawn rate. I will use the event handler, and I'll use the collision event and then receive collision, and here let's say 5 particles or 20 particles. So now on collision it will spawn this burst emitter. Let me check. Yes, it's doing. So I have all things done, but just the material of this shield is not done. Like here you can see the shield is colliding with ground, and there's a glowy edge you can see. So to do that, and it has only also a frame and this noise. So first I'll create a frame. So to create a frame I'll just use this mesh here, and if I take a texture coordinate and mask green channel and take a step point, and I'll just preview this. If I make it 0.1, 0.2, nothing happening. Let me just preview this. Okay, because it will show it from here. So preview, yes, and now let me preview this. Okay, so I need to invert this. So now I have a frame, and it's black from inside. So if I connect it, the center point part will be fully transparent. So I will take a lerp, and because lerp has 1 and 0, 1 is for frame and 0 is for center, so I want it to be 0.2, and I connect it to opacity. And if I stop this, I should have a frame like this. Let me save this, and now you can see I have frame, and you can also decrease this thing. And now that glowy edge when is colliding to the ground, so to do that you can take a depth fade, make the distance like 15 or 10, and then invert this, and then add this on your opacity. Whatever you have in your opacity, just add this over that. That's it. And to check that that is working, to check that I'll just put some boxes like this here, and again I'll duplicate this, and so now if I check, you can see it has this glowy edge when it's colliding to the surface. Is it cool? And now this orbiting, this noise type thing. So to do that I quickly open my Photoshop, and I need a noise texture. If we have here, then we can use. I don't need, we don't really have any texture like that. My Photoshop has some issues, so I'll quickly make a 1K texture and take a, oops, I'll take a cloud and just slightly blur, not much, but before blur I'll use this minimum, and then I'll use the blur. Okay, and now I'll save this. Because my Photoshop has some issue, it will not save on desktop, so I am saving in on D, and in D I have already a noise texture, so I am just replacing it, and then I am importing that noise texture from my D drive and dragging it to my material. And if I preview this, if I start preview, I have this noise, and if I use a pen, I have this noise now. And if I directly connect it to or multiply it, it will also, this noise will also be on my frame that I don't want, so I need to mask it out. See, I have this noise on my frame also, so I don't need that. So I will just add my frame on this noise, then I will multiply, so my frame will be secure. See, and I'll just save it. You can tweak lots of things, you can change the texture and pattern. So now play, I have this thing. So I think all things done. This is very basic, but I think you have no idea how to create the shield and the material and the particle projectile following the character and the event generation. So altogether lots of things I have cleared in this tutorial. So I hope you like this, and don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. Download this project from my Patreon, and thanks for supporting me on Patreon also. So bye.